what's up guys, Jourdan1086. Welcome to my, workroom slash shoe room slash studio slash, bedroom. But anyways, I want to give a shout out to SneakerFiles.com for featuring me in their SneakerHead spotlight. So without wasting too much of your guys' time, I guess we'll move on to the questions. Alright, first things first, my name really is Jourdan. It's spelled that way, Jourdan. And that's how my mom spelled it. My mom's friends would ask like, oh, you got it from Michael Jordan or something? And my mom said no, she got it from River Jordan. She just spelled it that way because since I'm the youngest and she thinks I'm special. You know, mama's boy right here. And basically, I was born and raised in the Philippines, Malabon or Manila City, Philippines for 17 years. So now I'm 25. I moved here in San Fernando Valley, California back when I was 17. So now I'm 25. I've been living here in San Fernando Valley, California for 8 years now. Alright, the next question is what are my top 3 performance sneakers of the year. It was hard, but I took time to really look back on the shoes that I reviewed, and I just came up to one shoe. Well, no, I just came across the shoe that I have here in my workroom, and these are the Reebok The Answer DMX3. I'll tell you, well, it's really a long story, but I'll try to keep it short as much as I can. These were the shoes that I bought back in 2002. Well, this shoe I have right here, I bought this from an eBay user for 20 bucks because I've been looking for this shoe for so many years. But anyways, I bought this shoe back in 2002 when I was a tourist here in California. My aunt bought me the shoe. Back then I didn't know there was such a thing as like signature shoes for, NBA players. I got this shoe from my aunt and then I brought it home in the Philippines. I used to play ball, like not really varsity, but I would play intramurals. Back in the Philippines, these were the shoes that I wore. And these were the shoes that I wore during the championship game which we lost. And it was my senior year back in the Philippines in high school. And then fast forward 2004, February 15, 2004, we had to leave the Philippines. I had to leave these shoes because, like I said, my dad or my mom told me just to bring whatever I need, So I had to leave these because there was no room. So I had to leave this in the Philippines. And then my mom came here. She forgot these shoes, so when she went back to the Philippines for a vacation, I told her, can you get the shoes back from, our old house? It wasn't there. So I was literally in tears because these were my favorite shoes of all time. Then fast forward 8 years later, I found this on eBay for $20. I know it's not the same as my shoes back in the Philippines, but when I saw this, I was like, you know what, I gotta have it. I gotta buy it no matter how much it costs. And thank God no one was bidding on it except for me. So as soon as I got the shoes, less than a week later, I was literally in tears when I got the shoe in a box. Well, this doesn't have a box anymore, but a regular shipping box. I literally cried as soon as I saw the shoes. I was in tears while I was driving home. And let's move on to the real question, the top 3 performance sneakers. It took me like a little bit of time to think about it because I'm still new at the sneaker game collection, performance things. But I came across like 3 shoes. I carefully thought about it. The number 3 that I have is the Nike LeBron 9 Low. The reason why I picked this because first thing I noticed was the fused material that used in the shoe. Good ventilation for me in this shoe. I wouldn't say but the support because it's a low top, so I'm kind of iffy about because I have a weak left ankle. But the lockdown was good for this one because of these flaps. And the main thing that I noticed about the shoe while I was playing with it was the new Air Max 360 unit in this shoe. The most comfortable. Now I'm a fan of this Air Max 360 unit because it's the most comfortable cushion unit that I have, or that I ever played in, well, this past year. So the cushion itself, that made me say wow about the shoe. Now my number 2 is the Adizero Rose 2.5. First thing I noticed about the shoe, I was like, okay, it's D-Rose shoe, so I gotta have it. The first time I played in this shoe was outdoors, so I didn't really pay attention to the traction as much, but the first thing I liked was like how this hugged my ankles. I always want to feel like something's hugging my ankles every time I play, because like I said, I have a bad left ankle, and there's a lot of ventilation in the shoe, a lot of support, lockdown, basically pretty much everything. And then I think I tried this on an indoor basketball court one time because like I didn't like the crazy lights. It was hurting my feet, so I changed in this shoe, and pretty much I forgot about the pain and the crazy lights, so I still continued playing. Basically, I also like what they use in the insole. Pretty much it's really comfortable for me. Now my number 1 performance sneaker, which I thought this was going to be my number 1 in this video, I really had to think about it, is the Jourdan Flyweight 2 EV. The only negative part about this shoe was the ventilation, because if you notice in the old Flyweight 2, there was like a lot of perforation holes, but this one, like, you have those little diamond shaped, like, supposedly ventilation. It didn't work, but when I tried on this shoe and when I played in the court, first thing I said was, ooh, kind of like, you know how women feel about the heels. I felt like a woman that day, you know, no pun intended, but I was like, ooh. When I tried this on the court, it didn't take a lot of break-in time for me. First thing I noticed was just like, you know, how perfectly fit my foot. There was like good support in the shoe, a lot of comfort. The midsole itself, the insole was ortholite, so it was really good. Like, it molded with my feet. The traction was like really good for me. I wish I could go on and on about the shoe, but it would take a lot of, you know, people's time. So this is a Jourdan Flyweight 2 EV, my number 1 performance shoe of this year. Alright, so the next question is like, you know, what are my top 3 favorite Air Jordan retros? For me, I would say I'm still new in the sneaker game. At first I only had 1 retro until today, May 23rd, 2012. But first I'm going to show you my number 1 retro sneaker. I haven't worn any of the retros because, like I said, like, I probably learned from people like, you know, you don't wear retros or it'll lessen the value, but whatever. I'm keeping these for me. I'm still not going to wear them. No, I'm not going to sell them either. But this will be my number 1 retro of all time, because this was my very first retro that I bought. And I don't know if you can read that. That's the Air Jordan Retro 10, and it's the stealth version. I haven't worn these, but I'm gonna tell you the story about these shoes. I was gonna be down for camping out because, like, you know, if it's a retro, I always thought there was gonna be a camp out. But anyways, I woke up late. I woke up at like 8 in the morning, got to Foot Locker at like 8:30 in the morning. Well, I was right. I was like freaking out. I was like, oh my god, there's gonna be a line. There's gonna be a line. Okay, you know, I was freaking out. So when I got there, I was like, oh cool, there's no one in line. I'm probably the first one, so I was like, thank you. So I was like, oh, they're gonna be open by 10. I'm cool, you know. So I'll just wait. The next thing you know, a security guard came up to me. He's like, oh, they've been open already since 8 o'clock. And I looked around, kind of embarrassed. I was like, really? No one told me about it. And then they were like, okay, just go in. So I walked in Foot Locker, got the shoe. I even said like, oh my god, I felt so embarrassed because, you know, I thought there was gonna be a long line. I was like happy. I was like a little kid. I was like, you know, kind of jumpy. I even left my girlfriend at Starbucks so she can get her coffee while I ran to Foot Locker like a little kid, and it was kind of embarrassing. But anyways, my second sneaker or Air Jordan Retro that I have is the Jourdan Retro 12 Playoffs. By the way, I never camped out for this shoe, or the next retro I'm gonna show you too. I never camped out for this one. I never bought this online. The story about this one, like I walked in finish line since I'm a regular there. The manager told me that like, oh, we have another pair of retro playoffs. I know you've been looking for those. You've been wanting it because you like the design. And I was like, yeah, I love the design. What size do you have? They were like, oh, 11 and a half. I was like, oh, I fit in 11 and a half, even though I'm not gonna wear it. So my second retro right here, the playoffs. I was gonna buy the Adidas Crazy Light 2 today, May 23rd. I'm gonna keep repeating myself. The dude told me that like, oh, there's the playoff shoes, you know, someone returned them. I know probably the dude probably wore this shoe already, but you know, I'm keeping this shoe for myself. I'm not gonna sell it. There's no resale for this for me. I'm keeping this till probably I die. So I was like a little kid. I bought it. I got paid today at my work, so I have the shoe. Playoffs. I was proud of it. I love the design of the shoe. And this is my second favorite retro. And the third and last retro that I have, my third favorite retro is the Air Jordan Retro 11 Low. This one. Basically a story, I walked in at Foot Locker same day, today. And the guy told me, was like, hey, we have another pair of retro of Jordan 11, because I was bragging about the retro playoff 12. They told me like, oh, we have another retro here, the Jordan 11 Retro Low. And I was like, man, I just spent money. I don't want to spend any more money. But then I checked my bank account and I was like, you know what, I paid my bills today. I paid rent money. Well, I still live with my dad, so I give rent money still. But anyway, so I decided to buy the shoe. You know what, they said it was the last pair that they have. I was like, okay, you know what, let me just take it. And that's it for my retro 11, my retro collection. Sorry, I have a brain fart. Alright, the question was, what's my favorite sneaker of 2012? And you see me holding it right now. This is the Adidas Adizero Rush. My favorite shoe of all time. Well, not all time, but of 2012, because this is my everyday shoe. The story behind this shoe is like, you know, I wasn't gonna buy a shoe, but the girl from Finish Line convinced me about this shoe. And I'm very hard to convince about something. I've been wearing this shoe for a long time now. This is my everyday shoe. This is my walking shoe. This is my running shoe. This is my dancing shoe. This is my club shoe. Everywhere I go, I have to have this shoe because it's light. It stands at 7.5 ounces. It's not, it feels like you're not even wearing a shoe at all because it's that comfortable and it's that light. That's just how quick it is. I'm gonna say about this shoe. My favorite sneaker of 2012. Alright guys, that concludes my SneakerHead Spotlight. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got the chance to get to know a little bit of me. And I hope you guys got to ignore my Justin Bieber shirt. Sorry about that. But I want to give a shout out to SneakerFiles.com once again. And I want to thank them for giving me a chance for them to put me in their SneakerHead Spotlight. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I hope to see you guys in my YouTube video. This is Jourdan1086 signing out, and thanks again, SneakerFiles.com.